Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. Namo Buddhaya. Meritorious Dhamma Friends. Dear young devotees and dear children, most of the devotees who are taking part in this program are the Sri Lankans living in foreign countries away from Sri Lanka. So the majority of the participants are children, and then few young devotees and some non-Sri Lankans, new Buddhists. But for us, they are all disciples of the Supreme Buddha. For us, they have joined this program to find refuge, to find a pure protection from the Buddha's teachings. So we got this opportunity to conduct this online Buddhist retreat through few media platforms during this pandemic. It was with the enormous blessings and with great courage of our teacher, Loko Swamin Wahanse, Avasarai, Most Venerable Kiribat Goda Jnanananda Mahathera, our Loko Swamin Wahanse. So everyone who's joining this program should be grateful to him. Only with his great guidance and with his great support and with his great blessings, today all of us have joined under one roof, under one platform, and learning Dhamma peacefully with your own convenience, with the convenience from your own time schedule, from your own time zone, from the country you are living, and with a suitable time zone, you all are joining this program. So we made this program we started this program especially for the Sri Lankans living in foreign countries and the devotees and the little kids who have difficulties understanding the Dhamma, the Buddha's teachings when it's preached in Sinhala. So for them to develop a pleasant mind towards the Buddha Dhamma Sangha in a language they can understand, in a language they mostly speak, we decided to conduct this program. So let's pay our homage to our teacher, first of all, to our Loko Swamin Wahanse, for making this program successful by giving us permission and blessings to conduct this program continuously for almost now close to 5 months. So may our homage be to our Loko Swamin Wahanse. Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. And then may our homage be to all the senior monks, all the monks who were in charge of the foreign monasteries, Jivananda Swamin Wahanse from Toronto, then Bodhidhamma Swamin Wahanse from Australia, Then our Amata Gavesi Swamin Wahanse from England. Then Sarananda Swamin Wahanse from America. Well, there were other monks, mainly the monks who took the responsibility to run the main monasteries. Then from other countries as well, and even the other monks who came from the other branch, with the monks who came from other foreign monasteries, from Mahamena monasteries, who passed the message, the monks who introduced those devotees to the Colombo Dhamma Friends of Mahamena, the English Dhamma Center of Mahamena in Sri Lanka, joining them with this center, with the monks of Mahamena Buddhist Monastery, to continue learning Dhamma. So because of those monks' great courage and support, with their guidance, we have been conducting these programs. So let's pay homage and share merit with those respected monks. May they be well and happy, have happiness, and may they realize the Four Noble Truths in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And also the dedicated volunteers and the dedicated dayakas, the young volunteers, the children, and everyone who is sharing these messages, sharing these programs with everyone, and helping in many ways to make this program successful, especially the devotees from Toronto Monastery, then some devotees from England, Kyle Putta and them, Brian Putta, then the young devotees from Australia, Sashin Putta, Chandula Putta, Ruchika Dua, then Chavini daughter, then Kalani Dua, then from Toronto, Arjuna Putta, Linda. So many devotees has dedicated their time and energy to make this program successful. So this program is initially broadcasted to New Zealand. Then after a few hours, Australia, the devotees from Australia joins. And then devotees from Dubai, then Singapore, Malaysia, and then England, then devotees from North America, and devotees from Toronto join this program. So it's a great pleasure for us to conduct this program overnight, starting from Sri Lankan time, which starts from 12:30 a.m. and finishes next day around 5:30 a.m. So I think out of all our Dhamma propagations in our monk life, this was, I think, these past 5 months of propagating Dhamma immensely throughout the week, days and weekends, and also on the Poya day, bringing people to, or like giving the chance to all the devotees in all the foreign countries, and at their convenience to observe 8 precepts, and giving the children the opportunity to gain merit in many ways, and letting children to come up with their own creations to worship, to venerate the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. I think this was an remarkable and an outstanding merit, and a very significant merit that was gained to our lives. So I share all that merit with all of you all. And I rejoice in all the merit that was done by all the volunteers and all the other people who have dedicated their time, energy, and their donations to make these programs successful. So let's go for a wonderful Dhamma sermon now and start this beautiful and amazing one-day Buddhist retreat by venerating the triple gems. Say after me. My homage to the gem of the Supreme Buddha. Buddha is my refuge every day. My homage to the gem of the Supreme Dhamma. Dhamma is my refuge every day. My homage to the gem of the Supreme Sangha. Sangha is my refuge every day. My homage to the Supreme Triple Gem. Triple Gem is my refuge every day. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dear devotees, today we decided to teach you all a sutta from Anguttara Nikaya. From Anguttara Nikaya, from Panchaka Nipata. The name of the sutta is Karanapali. Karanapali Sutta. This Karanapali Sutta, in this sutta, you will learn how Karanapali went for refuge to Buddha Dhamma Sangha by learning Dhamma from another lay disciple called Pingiyani. So on one occasion, the Blessed One was living in the peaked roof, Kutagara Salava, at the great wood in the city of Vishala. At that time, the Brahmin Karanapali was working for the Lechavis. He saw the Brahmin Pingiyani coming from a distance and said to him, "My friend Pingiyani, where are you coming from in the middle of the day?" Then Pingiyani said, "Oh friend, I'm coming after staying with the Gautama Buddha. I'm coming after staying with the Gautama Buddha." My friend Pingiyani, what do you think about the Supreme Buddha's ability of wisdom? Do you think he is wise? Now see what Karanapali is asking. Now do you understand that this Karanapali is not a Buddhist? Even Pingiyani was not a born Buddhist. But then, after meeting the Supreme Buddha, Pingiyani went for refuge to the Supreme Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. And then Pingiyani was able to convince another person as well. Pingiyani convinced Karanapali how excellent, how perfect the Supreme Buddha was. How much the Blessed One was undefiled. How much the Blessed One was useful for the world. How much the Blessed One was protective to the world. How much the Blessed One was compassionate to the world. And how much the beings were benefited in many ways. With similes, he convinced Karanapali. When Pingiyani was questioned in a way that Karanapali asked from Pingiyani, "What do you think about the Blessed One's wisdom? Do you think he's wise?" Then imagine if you were questioned like this from one of your friends who does not know the Buddha's teachings. Then Pingiyani said, "Friend, who am I to measure the Blessed One's wisdom? Who am I to measure the Blessed One's wisdom? A person must certainly be someone like the Supreme Buddha to know about his abilities, his excellence, his great wisdom. Only another Supreme Buddha will know about the Buddha's wisdom. Then Karanapali says, "O friend Pingiyani, praises the Supreme Buddha with magnificent praise indeed." My friend, now Pingyan is telling, my friend, who am I to praise the Supreme Buddha? The Blessed One is already praised by gods and humans. The Blessed One is already praised by the gods and humans. Who am I to praise the Supreme Buddha? Now see, these disciples like Pingiyani, they have realized that they have gone for refuge to a Buddha who was detached to the world, who was grateful to the Dhamma. Our Blessed One, our Supreme Buddha, after becoming a Buddha, he was thinking that it's not safe to live without a teacher. It's not safe to live without a guidance of a teacher. Then when he was thinking to whom to have as a teacher, he looked this world with his developed mind, with his developed eye of wisdom, with his divine eye. He wandered this world from his divine eye, and he searched the world. He searched in the human world. There was no one equal to him with his great qualities, with his great virtue, with his great concentration and wisdom. And then he surveyed the divine worlds. Even in divine worlds, there was no such person equal to the Supreme Buddha. Then what to talk about a person who is greater than the Supreme Buddha? Then he surveyed in the Brahma worlds. Even in Brahma worlds, there was no person who is greater than him, not even equal to him. Then he thought, if there is no senior person to me, yet there's something senior to me. There's something made me a Supreme Buddha. There's something in this world that brought me to a place. There's something in this world. There's a thing in this world which made my mind purified forever. That is what? That is the Dhamma he practiced. The undefiled Dhamma. The Dhamma that purifies the mind forever. The Dhamma that helps us to be free from lust, anger and delusion forever. The Dhamma that makes us to be grateful. Then the Buddha kept the Dhamma as a teacher and dwelled for 45 years as a Buddha and passed away at the age of 8 years. So that's how the Buddha kept the Dhamma as a teacher. Now even here Pingiyani, he has actually developed some confidence towards the Buddha. But then what he said was not what he had towards the Supreme Buddha. He explained how amazing and how marvelous the Buddha's realization is. He explained to Karanapali that only another Supreme Buddha will know the exact realization of a Supreme Buddha. Among the disciples, among the Sotapanna disciples, then if you take a Sotapanna disciple and a Sakadagami disciple will know more than a Sotapanna disciple. That is different. But then to really recognize a Supreme Buddha, because Buddha said in one place, "Dear bhikkhus, my realization, what I have realized is like this Sinsapa forest." When he was in a big forest, he compared his realization to that big forest, to that thick forest. And then he took some leaves from that forest and showed to the monks and said, "Dear bhikkhus, look at these handful of leaves. What I have taught you all, what I have taught you all, what I have teach you all, what I have taught you all, explained to you all, and uplifted and encourage you all to practice is something like some leaves on my palm. But my realization is like this huge forest." So that realization will be only known by another Buddha. That was said by Pingiyani. Pingiyani knew that. Then Pingiyani, when Karanapali said, "Oh, Pingiyani, you are praising the Blessed One." Then he said, "The Blessed One is already praised by the gods and humans. Who am I to praise the Blessed One when he is already praised by the gods and humans?" So remember, on a Poya day, we should be so grateful to a great leader like a Supreme Buddha. We should be grateful to the Supreme Buddha for taming our lives, to make us to dedicate our lives in a meaningful way by abstaining from killing living beings on this Poya day, by abstaining from stealing, by abstaining from all the sexual activities, by abstaining from lies, by abstaining from taking alcohol and drugs, by abstaining from eating after 12 p.m. after 12 noon. So the reason we don't eat after 12 p.m. is to guard our tongue, to restrain, to control our thoughts, not to satisfy always our thoughts. Now on the Poya day, when you don't eat after 12 p.m., even if the mind says to eat, even just for the sake of hunger, or maybe just to taste something, so you are controlling your thoughts in the mind by observing a precept to not to eat after 12 noon. What a great control. You are learning to control your mind. You are learning to handle your thoughts and control your thoughts on the Poya day. So we got this opportunity because of a Supreme Buddha. Because the great disciples of the Supreme Buddha, the great Arahants, they protected this Dhamma. Until now, we should be grateful for those Arahants as well. So then we will have to abstain from Natcha Gita Vadita, so watching entertainment, cartoons, music, wearing garlands, beautifying ourselves. See how much we had to become simple on a Poya day, on a Buddhist retreat like this. Less duties. Now see, on another day, you will have to look at a mirror and beautify yourself. Always you are concerned about your appearance and beauty. Today, it's very simple. Now see, on other days, usually you'll have to take a mirror and always check your face, your appearance, whether you look good or not. Now today it's very simple. Less duties, living lightly. Read the Karanapali Sutta. So on the Poya day, you can be very simple. You can live a very simple life and be happy knowing that you have less duties. We got that happiness because of a Supreme Buddha. Remember that. Then Arahant Mahinda brought Sri Lanka. And especially on this Nikini full moon Poya day, we should remember that Arahant Mahakassapa gathered 500 Arahants and recited all the Buddha's teachings to protect for another 5,000 years. 5,000 means during the time of Arahant Mahakassapa's time. Then Arahant Venerable Ananda Thero became an Arahant on a Nikini full moon Poya day. So today, if you can light a lamp to Arahant Mahakassapa, try to light on an oil lamp to Arahant Ananda. Worship Venerable Mahakassapa. Read Theravada of Arahant Mahakassapa today. Read Venerable Ananda's Theravada. Our devotees can share the links in our YouTube channels and in the Facebook and also in other media platforms. Share all these things in the WhatsApp and all these media platforms. But then devotees try to be away from these things on the Poya day as much as possible. Try to listen to the sermons and not to surf too much in these horrible platforms. Because you will have to guard your sense faculties. It's not easy. So then, Pingiyani. Then Karanapali said, "Friend Pingiyani, what do you see in the Supreme Buddha to have such confidence? Why do you praise the Supreme Buddha so much?" Then he says the first reason why Pingiyani was delighted, was so happy with the Supreme Buddha. Why? Even a non-Buddhist might be wondering why the Supreme Buddha is so important for our lives. Why do we need the guidance of a Buddha? Why do we have to get a protection from the Buddha's teachings? Now, if you have a good job, if you have a job, imagine you have a good house, if you have a good life partner, if you have a car, if your boss is good, if the working place is good, even after the coronavirus, if you have enough money to survive, even during the pandemic, if you have enough money to survive, why should I go refuge to a Supreme Buddha? Why should I meditate? Pingiyani is giving the answer. Pingiyani is giving the answer. My friend, it's something like this. A person who becomes satisfied after eating delicious food wouldn't like food that has less taste. Would you like to eat food that has less taste? Now, in the yesterday's program, I asked some children, which food do you like? The food that is made by your mother or the food you get from the restaurant? From the restaurant. I said, next time, why don't you tell your mother to cook like you get from a restaurant? So, then, Pingiyani says, in the same way, when you hear the Supreme Buddha's teachings by suttas, gathas, stanzas, suttas without stanzas, or remarkable stories, you won't like listening to the stories of other Brahmins and ascetics. In Buddha's teachings, we talk about karma. In Buddha's teachings, we talk about mindfulness, to protect our mind, to handle the thoughts in the mind, to control your verbal actions, to control your bodily actions. So there's some discipline in Buddhism, an amazing discipline. So we talk about discipline in Buddha's teachings. Then we talk about concentration. We talk about stilling our thoughts in the mind. Then we talk about gratefulness. Then we talk about respecting others. Then we talk about precepts, guarding our sense faculties, controlling eye, ear, nose, tongue, body and mind. Then we talk about contentment. Then we talk about seeing good in others. Then we talk about eradicating defilements, like overcoming anger by removing the real cause, not by pointing fingers, not by pointing finger towards the people who makes us angry. What makes us angry is our undefiled mind. The defiled mind. What makes us angry is the defiled mind. Then in Buddha's teachings, we talk about removal of suffering. We talk about removal of suffering forever. In Buddha's teachings, we learn about an eternal happiness. Then in Buddha's teachings, we talk about detachment. We live with other people in harmony, but mentally detached. We help each other, but even if other people don't help us in return, we don't feel upset because we are mentally detached. Other people, they help each other, they live together with others, but physically also they are attached, mentally also they are attached. But in Buddha's teachings, while we live in harmony with other people, mentally we can live being detached to others. What do you think about it? It's like a lotus leaf is untouched by water. It's like wind blowing through a net. That mind is like a huge mountain that is unshaken by the winds. That mind is like a strong pillar that is well grounded in the world, that is well grounded in the earth. What do you think about Buddha's teachings? So once a person get to hear these things, how can he delight in the teachings of other Brahmins and ascetics? Just like a person has eaten delicious food, he won't like all this coarse food. That's why I like the Supreme Buddha. Do you need other reasons? No need. So the first sermon has to be finished within 30 minutes. That's what I have been advised by the volunteers, by the people who make the timetable, by the devotees who make the timetable. I have to stop it by 30 minutes. So let's learn the rest of the sutta uh, in the next sermon after a short break, and develop great confidence towards the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo Buddhaya. Theruvan Saranai.